$1,000,000 question, can we get 4K or even 8K footage from this tiny $25 camera from 2013? This is the Bell Howell Splash 2, a camera that came out in 2013, and at the time it probably cost around $100, but there will be an actual price here on the screen of how much it cost when it came out. This camera shoots just standard HD, so it's 1280 by 720. Over here now, I am unsure exactly how and what this camera shoots frame rate wise and that kind of mix of things. I have no idea. Let me just show you. So excuse my horrendous fingers. You'll see we could change white balance. We have this effect thing here, which I think is like a portrait mode. I can't even move it. Oh, there it is. Oh, I think I just found out how to, okay. So it looks like for video, we have a TV standard, NTSC and PAL, and we have 50 Hertz and 60 Hertz. So see down here, I think that's time code, but I'm not entirely sure, which is interesting in a camera like this. But let's not turn this into a review of the Splash 2 because I don't think anybody even cares about this camera. Maybe you do, I don't know. We really only need the footage that comes out of this camera. So with that being said, let's roll right into it. But before we continue, you guys clicked on this video for a reason. On this channel, we do a lot of videos kind of like this, experiments. So feel free to go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified when I post a video like this in the future. And while you're scrolling down there, hit that like button and leave a comment down below of how you think this experiment came out. So the first test we're gonna do is just a regular vlog. You know, this is kind of how this camera looks like. We got my car in the background. We got everything in the background. So let's bring out the other camera and see if it will compare. And this is with the old camera. This is without AI. This is without anything. And I'm wondering how it looks because I can't even see myself. I might have to back it up. So far, this footage actually looks pretty good on this small screen, so I'm curious to see what it would look like later once we kind of upscale it. Another thing that is alarming that I found with this old camera is that I think there's some sort of stabilization feature in it. It looks like the background has a lot of, it looks like if you take a really shaky footage and put it in Premiere with warp stabilize, it's just terrible. All right, so we made it to the canal. We got both the bikes out. We're gonna go on a ride, and I'm only going to take the small camp. Where even is it? And I'm only gonna take this. So the only issue that I have so far is that the wind noise is gonna be terrible, but we're gonna see if AI can fix that too. So let's move on. Let's get on this bike ride and see what happens. So we're on the bike right now. I'm wondering how this footage looks and the sound and the audio, but we'll see. Looks like we have around 35 minutes before this is transformed into 8K. The 8K resolution footage is done, so let's take a look at it. All right, off rip, we can all tell it has that just disgusting watermark on it. It's unavoidable. I'll tell you what, I will purchase this program and you guys will see no watermark if I'm convinced if it's the right choice for me. So let's look past the watermark for right now and see if AI has done a great job. At this point, this is a sponsored video. Topaz, hit me up. This is free advertising for you. So I think looking at this footage so far, the elephant in the room is that it is just horrible. The stabilization thing that's going on, and it's shaky, and it's not there yet. But as far as quality goes, it is a big difference. I mean, you could still clearly tell it's AI. You know, it kind of looks like, you know, one of those mom pictures on Facebook on some frames. What I mean by that is, like, in some frames, it's also, the colors are meshed together. How do you even explain this? You know those over-edited selfies that some moms take, or guys, and they like turn like the skin blur or like smoothing effect on like 1000%, and they just kind of look like a flat face. It almost looks drawn. We do get a little bit of that on some frames, which makes it a little inconsistent. So I think we could obviously tell this is older footage because of the color grade and depth. So let's try to color grade this footage into more of a 4K video instead of being an HD video, if that makes any sense. I don't know, if you were to show me this footage, this does not look like a 2013 camera. This looks like a
Rebel T4i or T5i. You know, it's not bad footage. Am I sold on this AI program yet? No. Next on the list, we're going to be upscaling this to 4K instead of 8K footage, and we will also be using this stabilization feature. And I just want to put it out there that these are pretty harsh tests. This is a little extreme to a normal circumstance, but if it can do it with this footage, it could do it with any footage. But to talk about this program a little bit more, I have a very dialed workstation setup, and it's taking an hour for my PC to export these videos, which is interesting. There might be a setting that I'm missing, you know, a export setting or whatever, but an hour seems quite long. You know, for the normal person, this hour can probably turn into 3 or 4. But maybe there's a setting I'm missing. I don't know, but there probably is a setting I'm missing. Anywho, I will catch up with you guys in an hour. So with the stabilized footage that we have now at 30 frames a second, it's all right. I'm not saying it's the best. We still have a little bit of wonky things going on, but overall it's okay. You know, in a way, it kind of looks like that old iMovie stabilization feature. It has that wonky aspect to it, but it's there. It is a lot better. It does have some distortion in my face and in the image, but overall it's a lot better than what we had before. So moving on, we had AI change the frame rate to 24 frames a second. Now, like I said, this was shot on 30 frames a second, so it isn't a huge difference, but it is a difference. The 24 frames a second is noticeably smoother. You know, it's as expected. I think we really have to test what AI can do to frame rate with a higher frame rate, let's say 120 or anything above 120 with a talking head. I don't think 30 down to 24 is a best, is a good thing to test. I keep doing this with my hands, I don't know why. So to clear up, this is what we've done. This is the 8K footage downsized to a 4K timeline. And now we have the 4K footage that is stabilized. And now we have the 4K footage that is stabilized with also changing the frame rate to 24 frames a second. But to me, it almost looks like we took a really shitty camera and we kind of upsized the video, and it still looks like.
Alright, so with that, this is how the footage looks like with the video upscale. And this is what it sounds like with Adobe AI Audio Enhancer. Hopefully it sounds better, but I'm not sure. I hope I'm not covering a mic too. Let's hope it sounds good.
But I definitely think this is what I anticipated and expected. I didn't expect for some crazy cinematic red footage looking camera out of this small thing. You know, at the end of the day, all it really does is make footage from cameras like this easily viewable on a big screen. So to answer some questions, could you just get away with filming on a small camera like this? Do you have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a cinema camera if you want to film good stuff? We probably still have to go out and spend thousands of dollars. I don't think we're getting any airy or red footage out of a camera like this just yet, but who knows down the line, maybe there's going to be some new AI things. I also want to put it out there, I don't want to take away the fact that this is not impressive. This is incredibly impressive. If you were to ask me 5 years ago AI could do this, would not believe you. Would not. And I guess the last question is, will I be purchasing this program? No, probably not. Not that it is a bad program. It's a very good program. It has done all the things I've asked it to do. But for me personally, I'm never going to use this camera probably ever again, unless it's for a YouTube video. But for people out there with not a lot of money to invest in gear, with people out there who don't have the best cameras, you know, I'm gonna track back to what I said earlier. This footage looks like T4i or T5i video. Like, it looks decent, it looks good. You know, if we took those same cameras and we put it into this program to upscale it and make it look all beautiful and pretty, I'm sure it will look incredible. you know, this could be a really great option for those people who don't have really expensive cameras. It's a small cost, or I shouldn't say small, it's a hefty cost of $300 for a program like this. And I'm sure there's many other programs out there, but this could suffice you for quite a long time for bigger projects. The only complaints I have with this, and I gotta keep tracking back, this isn't a review of this program, but it takes a long time for something like this to render on a computer, and I've got a really nice setup. When I think of somebody who doesn't have, you know, the most expensive camera, the best gear, they most likely don't have a workstation, a insane computer to be able to render footage like this. So take that into consideration as well. But at the end of the day, that concludes this experiment. I'm thoroughly impressed of what this has done with just some $25 camera. What I would really like to see in the future with AI is automatic color grading. I mean, that would be amazing. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. This camera will remain on the channel. I'll be making a ton of videos with it in the future, and I am excited to see what we'll find out with it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please go down below, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment, leave all that good stuff. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.